This is CSIT130 final project with Dr. Miller. I'll just run the code first and then I'll describe it, explain it. So we'll have player X get horizontal win first, just to test that out. So as you see, player X wins. I'll do O this time. Oh, why did it not? There it goes. Okay. As you can see, player O wins. Now we'll do vertical. Player X wins. And then we'll do vertical for O. Player O wins. Now we'll do diagonal forward for X. We'll just do a couple diagonals for X first. Ah, dang. So I accidentally did O that time. I'll do that again. Just to make sure I don't do that this time. We'll do 3 and then 3. There you go. Player X wins at a diagonal. We'll do a diagonal down this time for player O. We'll do player O. So then we do 1. As you can see, player O wins, and it's going down diagonally. So, and then I'll just show that. Do like -1. Say that's not a valid column, so that's saying that you can't do that space. But they lost their turn since they did an invalid column. And if you do more than you can, it's the same thing. That's not a valid column. And so here is my code. So first I just initialize some final variables I wanted, row, column, and then for max number, that's what I use to calculate some of the how to place certain things. So this was my double array I used was string called board, and use a row and then column inside there. There's a scanner. I made a method for display, so I called that. Then create board method, that was for how I made the layout of the board, and then print board is just when it prints the board. And then I made a boolean is a flag. I set it equal to true. So when that is true, then it runs place X, and that's this method. And so it prints out player X's turn, enter 0 or 7, and choose what column you want. And then there's the scanner, the input that they put. And then if that is greater than, so if it's greater than, in this case it will be 7, then it will go to not a valid column. Or if it is less than 0, so a negative number, then it'll also do that. And if for this, if there's the board where they want to place it is blank, then I'll replace it with the X. And then if the X, and if else if the place where they want to put equals X or equals O, then it will go up one. So do the max where it wants to go minus the counter that we had up there. And if that is blank, then it puts the X there. And then it adds another counter. And then if the counter equals row, so if that means that if they're always X or there's just this many amount, then it will say that the column is full. I can run that code just to show that it actually works. As you can see, it says the column is full, and so they lost their turn. I believe they lose a turn at least. Let me check. Yeah, they lose a turn if the column is full. They try to play that. The place O, that's the same thing. And then for the check, if for like horizontal and vertical and stuff, I made a Boolean method. So that's checks. This is just it checks these Boolean other methods. Probably made it a little bit more complicated than I need to, but so this one is check horizontal, makes a flag, a Boolean flag. So if it's true, then if that's true, then it goes through this. And it made some counters. So if the row, so it goes does a for loop for the row, then a for loop for the column. Then if the board equals X, then it adds a counter to it. And then it checks to see if that counter is greater than 4. And if so, then it does then it says it wins. So it checks the row first, goes to the row. If it's X, adds a counter, goes to the next row. If it's X, adds a counter. If not, it does 0, and then it just goes to the next, breaks. And then the same thing for the O. And vertical, same thing, except it starts with columns. So it starts with this column. If the column has a 0, then it goes to the next column or row. Oh yeah, so for this one, it goes to the row, and then if that row is X, then it goes to the next column of that same row. But for this one, it goes to this column, and then checks that row, the first row, and if that row is O or X, then it goes to the next row, and then checks that, and adds counter. And for diagonals, I tried to do the same way because this is how I did it, but I couldn't figure that out, so I had to switch it up a little bit. So for it goes the same 4, so 4 column and then 4 row, but instead it does if that equals X, and then the board minus 1, so that means the row above it, and then the column to the right, and then 2 above to the right. So if that's how you get the diagonal for that, and if that is all true, so if that happens, then it prints player wins, flag is false, So that means the checks work. Where's the check? There it is. So if it means the check works, then return that flag. Then if that flag is false, then boom, breaks that. So that's how that works. That's how it stops it. And so I did the same thing with else if that's for this is for down, yeah. So plus, so instead of subtracting, you plus one, so it goes down one, and then same thing goes to the right one. Checks that. Yeah. Mm. And then this does the same thing. And I did a try catch here to, in case, just had to, or else it wouldn't run. So there's the code.